Cheers, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Driver Recruiting Happy Hour podcast. My name is Darren Williams. I'm the president of CDLJobs.com. With me, as always, is my co-host, the president of 10-4 Recruiting, and a man who, in lieu of recent events, will be leaving the trucking industry to become the new commissioner of competitive fishing, Matt Beach.
It's needed. It's needed.
Beach, what are you going to do to stop the madness?
I don't know, man. It's interesting. I mean, it's opened up the cheating scandals across all different types of industries, whether it be fishing, trucking, chess. There's a big chess.
Wait a minute, you say there's people cheating in trucking now because a couple of yahoos from Ohio put a lead weight in a fish?
I mean, there's like it's like a European / North American non-cheating open scandal thing that we've started, and then we're busting it wide. We're going to all these different groups. I mean, even in water polo, we're diving into spelunking. I mean,
so your absence from trucking is momentary until you get the fishing thing straightened out, and then you're coming back.
Yeah, coming back, and then we're just going to all these everywhere. I mean, you name it, marbles, shooting marbles. I mean, there's cheating there. There's cheating that's just happening everywhere, and so we're diving into it. We're just going to open it up.
So you are a fisherman. I am not really a fisherman. I've been sport fishing in the Keys and salmon fishing in Sheboygan, just kind of, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I didn't know competitive fishing was such a big thing.
It's huge. There's so much money in it. There's so much money to be involved. I've got
apparently, because people are cheating at fishing. I just thought you lied about the size of the fish.
I mean, there's so much in a sense of advertising money, in Ranger boats, Bass Pro, real, even on the hunting side, there's so much money to be made just simply on the marketing and advertising side of it. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And then, anyway, it's interesting. I got a buddy of mine who's a professional fisherman, and he's got 2 shows that he does. He lives here in Chattanooga, but works out of the Keys. And I sent it to him. He was like, man, you have no idea just some of the other things that people will do to win a fishing tournament. Absolutely unreal.
How else would you cheat? Maybe having a fish out on a line somewhere and going and getting it?
Yes.
Catching it right
Yeah.
away?
Recently, you had a guy that paid a couple $1,000 for another guy who caught a 10-pound largemouth and kept it in a trap for him. Yeah. There's also, get this.
So they are really in need of a commissioner or a commissioner, if you will.
Oh, yes. Look at you. At you. Hey, he'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tip.
No, it will not. I think our guest might fish.
Yeah,
what we have today? We've got the vice president of driver employment at Rail Transport, Tim Norland. Norland, have you ever cheated in a fishing tournament?
Hell no. I haven't.
Have you ever been caught cheating in a fishing tournament?
I
phrase it that way.
No, I haven't. I haven't even been in a fishing tournament. So,
well,
are you a fisherman?
There's cheating, and then there's
am
lying. Cheating. But have you ever lied about how big a fish was?
Beach, you're putting me on the spot here, man. Yeah, maybe.
A couple of times.
Maybe.
I think I said one of the best pictures I sent Norland was that.
That's just part of the game, right? I mean, that's just part of what you do.
That's right.
I sent him a pike. It was a picture of a pike, and he was like, "How big is that thing?" And it was measured in Coors Lights stacked against the side of it. And it was like 8 Coors Lights long. I don't know.
Holy cow.
Well, you know how that goes. You catch a fish, you don't measure it, you throw it back, and every time you tell the story about that fish, you add a couple inches.
No,
so that's just how it is.
It gets bigger. They've got, so you would ask, Darren, what's another way if they cheat? Some fishing tournaments will do a smallest fish, or depending on, I mean, it's just like here's a couple of $100 or whatever. It's crazy. But if they know they're going to win it, or they want to try, they'll actually take scissors. Or if the fish has to be a certain length, they'll take scissors and trim off the tail and shape it, just because they know if I can shave up a 1/4 inch, this fish falls within that guidelines. It's nuts.
So if everybody knows this, and this has been going on for a while, what was the big deal about this one? Why did this one blow up and go? I mean, how did I find out about it?
Social media. social media, first of all, blew it up. They do so much. There's so much of that crap that goes around cheating on it, but this one blew it up. And just the way they acted about it. But these guys had actually won. I mean, they were guessing
multiple tournaments.
multiple tournaments.
$30,000 just at this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like $300,000 worth of winnings over the year. You know, because you got to think $80,000 bass boats that they had won, and they were fixing to be the top fishing team for that area. Like they were going to win another award for it. And
It's so serious. They make them take lie detector tests, and apparently one of these guys kind of didn't do so well on his lie detector test.
Yeah. And they were like, "Hey, my fish."
Wait a minute, Tim, what do you mean? They make them take a lie detector
All they're
after the tournament? Like, did you really catch all these fish?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, they do. That's how serious this is.
Holy
Am
cow.
I wrong to say that wouldn't a metal detector catch that?
No, it's lead. It wouldn't.
It won't pick it up.
No,
Really? Oh,
I don't think
well,
so.
then they're smart fishermen, or they were.
Anyway, it's been unreal. And then you got the chess cheating scandal. I don't know if you saw that one.
The
I
teenager.
did. I
Yeah.
heard about it. Like
Yeah.
a 19-year-old kid. A 19-year-old kid that went from ranked 2000 in the world to ranked 3rd in the world or something, and they think he's cheating.
Well,
How do you cheat at chess?
well, I'm not gonna go into the details of it, but if you Google,
We need Rob Hatchett back.
well, Rob called me yesterday and goes, which
Not
is
that Norland doesn't know chess. I'm just assuming Rob knows more.
Well, no, he called me. He goes, which is bigger, a fishing cheating scandal or a chess cheating scandal? And I had to break it down, but he goes, do you know how he cheated? And I'm not going to go into details, but if you Google like how they are suspecting that he cheated, you're going to find it very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
You know exactly. I mean,
I
little
do.
pros,
I do. I know the story.
I'm actually intrigued.
Well, now I'm gonna need to go look it up.
Well, I'm going to start watching Darren when I run into him at conferences to see if he's cheating, just how he's sitting on the bar stool.
Oh, wow. Is that how we, that's how you cheat at chess. Well, I guess I've never been interested in chess enough to read a book about it, let alone go there.
Yeah, there you go. That'll help you out with it.
All right. Wow. Look at the time. We're out of time. Thanks for stopping by, Tim. So Norland, I went in, I was going to do a little better intro for you. And then I realized, you're an Iowa State grad and you probably don't deserve any better.
Wow.
But you are on the board of you represent almost every letter of the alphabet.
I do. Yeah. I don't know. The last few years I've had a busy life besides my full-time gig here. So yeah.
Yeah. You got to learn to say no.
It's hard. I'm a recruiter. Recruiters always have to say yes.
So talk a little bit about that, your involvement in some of these boards. And I know we serve on the same board with the Next Generation in Trucking Foundation board.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just one of the many that you're on. Tell us about some of the others.
Sure. Yeah. As you said, the Next Gen, I think it's so important that, we pave a path for these 18-year-old kids and we get in front of high school students and let them know what a great career trucking is. But I'm also on the board of the CVTA, which is the Commercial Vehicle Training Alliance. Very important. They do great work. They represent driving schools as well as motor carriers with training programs. So very, very important work there. My most recent one here, I'm on the board for the North Central Wisconsin Workforce Development Board. So NCWWFB.
It's a lot of alphabet letters right there.
Alphabet tracking right up there with
that's a good one.
FTTDS.
Yes, yeah. I haven't tackled that one yet there, Matt. So
there you go.
Yep. Keeps me busy, keeps me spry.
Now on the Next Generation of trucking, which I absolutely love that. absolutely love it. And so recently there was a school here in Copper Hill, Tennessee, and they had reached out and saw a post I had done a while back, and they're like, "Hey, we're interested in starting a program at our school. What does it consist of?" Well, then I got with oh gosh,
Lindsay,
and then Dave over in
Dave
California. And I remember when Dave was kicking that off, it was the first CVTA event he came to. Man, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, had to be, or maybe a little bit longer than that. And he was trying to get that excitement going on. But what's interesting about this school is that they want to start a program in their high school. And they have, you ever heard of the Ocoee River?
Yes.
So the Ocoee River has that, they buses truck up and down, taking people up and down to raft the Ocoee River. They were hurting this year along with everybody else because they couldn't find enough drivers for school buses. And so then they have some other local companies in that area that are needing truck drivers. Like, man, we think we could really do a great program with this. I'm like, hey, man, I'm all about it. So, and I had reached out to them. This is how awesome it was. Connected them with Lindsay and Dave. The following week, that was on a Friday. The following week, they had a long conference call, starting to get this setup going, talking and all that. And so it was a good process, very quick, very on the spot. And so I appreciate them, wanting to touch base. But dude, that program's awesome.
Beach, you brought up something. I got to share you a story with you that you don't know about me. So you were talking about shuttling the rafters up and down the Ocoee River in buses. So when I was a teenager in high school, I was probably 16, 17 years old. My summer job was to shuttle canoers up and down so they could canoe the Maquoketa River in eastern Iowa. And the vehicle that I drove was a 1967 Ford Econoline van where you sat up over the wheels, and it was a 3 on the tree. And I remember that. I had fond memories of giving lots of young women rides to and from the river. Yeah.
Did the van have the back half cut off so you could fit the rafts?
No. I pulled a trailer. Yeah. Yep.
Tim and I grew up about 20 miles. I'm sorry. Tim and I grew up about 20 miles apart.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Great people come from eastern Iowa. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the majority, we've had a lot of people on our podcast that's been from Iowa.
Yeah. Starting to see a trend here.
I'm starting to see it. I was a rafting guide for the Ocoee, and you make $25 every trip. You go up, down, and the last one I
did
as a guide, and went up there. We got in the water, and it's really the river is really, it's a dam, right? And they control the water flow. And we're going down, and I look back, and they turned the water off. And I looked at the people that I said, this is going to be an amazing but very fast trip. We got to go. And it was go, because that water, when it dies, when it stops flowing, you're done. It almost completely dries up to just a trickle. And so, how do they regulate it? They have a dam up at the top. Yeah, the dam. Or is it man-made? Yep, it turns the water on. So that you got the Ocoee has two of them. So back in, I think it was the '96 Olympics, they created an upper portion for the Ocoee specifically for the Olympics. And the majority of it's man-made. The rocks, a lot of them are fake. They brought in some rocks for it as well. But the lower part is the natural area of it, and it's controlled by the dam, and that's where the majority of the people go rafting it. And this is in the Chattanooga, Soddy Daisy, Greater Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee. It's about Cleveland, Tennessee. It's about 30 minutes from Chattanooga, up in the mountains. The Greater Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee area, the Soddy Daisy Metroplex. Soddy Vegas, home of the notorious illegal slot machine gambling in the back of the restaurants. We had a recent bust here in Soddy Daisy for that. Illegal gambling? Yeah, there's a restaurant and people were just like, where are they going? And they weren't going to the restaurant. They were going back and doing the one-armed bandits. Those slot machines, they got busted for it. If you ain't from Soddy, you ain't nobody. You ain't nobody. That is the truth. That's true. Hey, Tim, what was the bundle of joy I saw on one of your recent posts?
Oh yeah, got the granddaughter number 2 just came into the
Hey,
world. So yeah.
congratulations.
What's the
And
name?
her name is Olivia May.
Olivia May.
That sounds
Beautiful.
like a good name to yell at when they get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Olivia
Olivia
May.
May. I can see it. I can see it.
I'll have to revert to my Chattanooga slang when I used to work down in Chattanooga. Olivia May, you get your ass over here.
Nailed it.
Grab a switch and get in the house.
Dude. Someone the other day was like, "What's your middle name?" I was like, "It's Dale." It's like, "Oh, you're Matthew Dale." And I'm like, "Look, there's only one person that has ever been allowed to call me Matthew Dale, and she's no longer on this earth. And that was my grandmother. And I can tell you that was when you heard Matthew Dale, it was over with. My backside was fixing to get tore up with a willow branch limb. Tore up.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't
See,
no
I grew up in Iowa. My maternal side was all from my grandmother's from DeQuincy, Louisiana. My mother grew up in Bossier City, Louisiana. So I learned early on that I would grab a stick to get beaten about something stupid I did. You gotta grab your own weapon. The Southern tradition that they should really stop.
grab your own weapon.
Uh,
Tim, what's
how's
going
that?
on at Rail, man?
oh
What's happening at Rail? Always something going on at Rail. You guys are
yeah.
pumping it up there.
I tell you, it's been a fantastic ride this year. We came out of the COVID lockdowns in really good shape. Trucking has been just moving forward with now, unfortunately now rates are going down, but very profitable year in 21 and 22, and a lot of growth. We are on a trajectory. I need more trucks right now is what I need. So that's going to be a challenge as we move into the fourth quarter, but going great guns, and couldn't be happier, because I'm one of those guys, know me, both of you know me. I'm a go fast kind of guy. If I'm not charging forward all the time, I get bored real quick, and this has been a fun ride.
I had somebody the other day go, "Matt, hey, congratulations, our trucks are full. Thank you so much." I'm like, hold on. Let's rephrase that. Either you're happy with that, or you can go, "I am pissed off because I can't get no freaking trucks." And so we can't. I'm like, now I'd rather you say that versus, "Oh, all is great, everything's wonderful." It's like, no, it's not. You can't grow. You can't move.
We're actually in a very dangerous time right now for people in recruiting, because what happens at a lot of carriers when the trucks are full and rates are depressed a little bit? Well, let's just shut off recruiting, which is the worst decision a carrier can make. But I guarantee you, we're seeing it starting to happen at other carriers, not at Rail, but I know some friends in the industry that are facing that right now. So, hey, we don't need all your recruiters. Lay some off. Let's do this. Let's do that. Man, bad call.
It is a bad call.
We've been having those conversations daily, Tim.
Yeah.
It is a bad call. It is a very, someone asked, I think even Darren asked, so how's it going? Like, it's very interesting as to how it's going, especially on the recruiting side.
Right.
It's the next. Well, what about this week? What's this week look like? I don't know what's next week. I mean, it's just week to week of just.
Well, I think it's kind of, we're in a unique position that everyone needs equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, more than anything, we need equipment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, it's just 6 months ago we needed drivers, and now we need equipment. It's kind of a bizarre, and it'll change quickly. It always does. It's a little bump in the road, but I mean, I think so. I would assume you'd agree.
Yep, absolutely. But it's shutting off recruiting. That's the easy button, but the better decision is to keep that beast moving. That's a machine that once you get it up to speed, you do not want to slow it down. There are other things you can do. Keep bringing the drivers in, and then look within yourself. Look at your drivers and who can we improve upon? Either
upgrade your fleet.
There you go. Yeah, I was trying to say it in a nicer way, but yeah, upgrade your fleet.
Well, and it is what it is.
I heard someone say weed and feed the other day. Just go weed and feed it. And
there you go. Yeah.
But
Can I
yeah,
use that? Can I use that term? Is that a
yes, you
beachism?
can. You can weed and feed.
Weed and
If it
feed.
really takes off, you have to write the Driver Recruiting Happy Hour podcast to refer each other. I think that's already the name of a lawn company.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll
Well,
probably get sued for
one of the
using it.
best, and you've probably the best. What was it? Septic tank service was. We're number one in the number two business.
We've got one.
Yes. Yeah.
We've got one of those here.
You know, it's funny on that we're seeing it just on the third party side, where there's a lot of people, especially like on LinkedIn, who are previous recruiters, who are like, the recruiting department couldn't grow, and we got stagnant and out of a job. Now, me on mine, I'm like, come on, let's go, right? I'll bring you on, and here's what we got. Here's some work. Here's this, and then even for us, you know, on my side, you see kind of a high turnover because depending on the commission and 1099 work and some other stuff it's hard for them to kind of get used to that. And I get it. I mean, I've been there myself, but you're seeing it, man. I mean, for me right now, reaching out on the LinkedIn marketplace for recruiters, there's a lot of them out there. A lot of them out there.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
hard job.
I'm looking right now too. I need a couple because
Yeah.
we have plans.
Dude,
Send them
I'm
my
telling
way
you.
if you can't use them.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
a-
I mean, like I did a LinkedIn post and I spent $75 and was littered with resumes. I'm talking littered with resumes, and absolutely loved it. Because I thought, well, maybe I'll try Indeed. No, LinkedIn, it just blew up of just people, you know, hey, I need a job. Get me in there. Let me try it out. You know, let me you know, I can make 100 calls a day. Perfect. You know, or, you know, I'm in the medical side of things. I'm over here. I call people to make them pay their bills. And how many calls you make a day? 100. Come on. I'll teach you 10th Street. I'll train you. If you can make that phone call, come on. Welcome to trucking. We need you. And so anyway, if you're that LinkedIn post just blew up. A lot of people out there needing work, man. And you sit there and scratch your head, people going, there's no jobs out there. I'm like, there it is.
There's
Plenty.
not a lot of easy jobs, right? I mean, recruiting's a tough gig. It's a tough gig. It takes a special kind of person to repeatedly get kicked in the crotch every day and come back and do it again the next.
Right.
And that's what we do. I
Yeah.
mean, and then, you know, at the end of the week, congratulations, you met your goal. It starts all over again tomorrow.
Yep.
It's tough. There's no end in sight. It's tough.
That is true. That is true. And you know what? 6 months from now, we'll be talking about a different kind of crisis.
Yeah.
Guarantee. It's
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
ending. It's always changing.
Yeah.
All right. I have a non-industry question. Favorite bourbon what's your favorite bourbon go to? Is it Makers? What is it? Like right now, you're sitting on the lake.
Mhm.
And no TV, you got fire, phone, there's no reception. You're just like, say, what bourbon am I going for?
Usually Bullet.
Bullet
Usually
rye or Bullet bourbon?
Bullet bourbon.
Bourbon.
Bullet bourbon.
Easily available. My problem is my
However,
favorite.
yeah. However, and I know you've been there, Evan Williams, in Louisville.
Yeah.
We had an industry event there here a few years back, and they did tastings and stuff. I just got a bottle of Evan Williams Reserve, and it is delicious.
Evan Williams 100 for $24 for a half gallon.
Okay.
You want them to get you there, and it's not bad. It's not a bad mixer. It's not bad at all.
No.
And what
If I'm
Bullet's
gonna have-
easily available, right? You can find Bullet about anywhere.
Oh yeah, everybody's got Bullet, but yeah.
See,
But Beach, to your point, you're right. $25 for a half gallon versus, you know, $50 for a half gallon of Bullet versus, you know, how much for a bottle of Blanton's. So
100, yeah.
yeah.
If you can find it, that's the bad problem. You can't find
Right.
Bullets,
The bourbon
which is
market
my new go-to is
absolutely-
Angel's Envy.
Oh, love Angel's Envy. Good bourbon. If you're
You know,
just
about
gonna have
5 years ago, Jay
one or
Age
two.
turned me onto that. You know, remember Jay?
Mhm.
Jay Age turned me onto that, and in Louisville.
I'm not an Angel Envy fan.
Really?
Really?
I can't
Well,
get into it.
then-
I've tried different ones. I'm just not there. I don't know why.
I was told that their rye is very good, and I'm not a rye fan, but I was told the Angels Envy rye is very good.
So in Nashville, there's a company, Nashville Barrel Company. And Tim, if you're next time we're there, if y'all can ever sneak over there, there's a guy he's just started, Michael Hines, and he's got some new barrels that's fixing to roll out. We did a barrel tasting over there the other day, and let me tell you something. Now it's higher proof, which I like. That 115% is my sweet spot. Absolutely phenomenal. Their rye is unreal. Absolutely, just I mean, I'm a huge fan. Usually,
They're not are they the Nashville distillery that makes that triple smoked?
uh,
bur-
no.
that's
The
not
other
them.
day, like Chattanooga whiskey here. I'm not a huge fan of Chattanooga whiskey. I shouldn't say that, but I'm not. And but they've had some, like, when they start getting really creative, like let's take the bourbon and let's put it in a wine French, Merlot cast, and let's just like
That's not bourbon.
Wait, no, wait a minute.
No.
As soon as I say I like Angels Envy, you have to start using that voice and personally attacking Angels Envy.
what
I mean,
voice
that's what they do. Did you know that?
was it?
They finish it in wine barrels.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's tough.
Did I ever send you Cedar Ridge bourbon?
No,
Did I send you a bottle of that?
no. Are you
Remind
talking
me, I'm
to
gonna-
Tim?
Cedar,
I'll send you
Cedar
each of
Ridge,
them.
is it
It's-
made with water from the Cedar River?
Well, I would never brag about that, but it's made in Iowa, which has the best corn.
Oh, that's true.
Logic would tell you that's gonna make the best bourbon. I am
Yeah.
gonna make a note of that. I'm gonna send each of you guys some Iowa bourbon.
So we
Ooh,
noted. We went to the fishing. I'm sure
I think I
you,
might have just admitted to bootlegging right here on the. World
yeah, I think you
Wide Web.
did. I think
yeah, you did. That's all right.
So we did the fishing place I go to up in Clarksville, Georgia. The guy's place that I fish on, his name is Bear Sutton. And I don't know if you ever heard of Popcorn Sutton, the moonshiner.
Yeah.
This is his nephew. And so my cousin was like, literally, he had never been trout fishing, never been here. He's like, man, where are we going? I'm like, don't worry about it. And I wanted to say, I've taken Rob Hatchett here. It's okay. If you only, and he was like, who, of course he doesn't know who Rob Hatchett is, but I'm like, it'll be fine. He survived. You're going to be off. Okay. And so we get there that night, we pull out some Nashville barrel bottles that we had, and Bear calls it brandy. He said, that brown brandy, everything's brown brandy. I don't need the clear stuff. At one point of the night, I had to help Bear back into the cabin, and his wife's like, what's wrong with him? He goes, honey, they got me drunk. And so my cousin was like, I don't know if I should feel good or feel bad that we got Popcorn Sutton's nephew.
I say, you
A
would
little
think
bit
a
of blue.
descendant of Popcorn Sutton could drink all day.
No, but anyway, woke up that next morning, rough, but still wore the fishing out. Y'all have got to hit that river. Y'all have got to get over there. If you can ever go to the Soki River, man, it is a ball, absolute ball.
It's on my list, man. You keep posting those pictures. So
Well, we caught it. So they shut it down in the summertime because the water's too hot. They don't want to, in a sense, hurt the fish.
Yep.
And oh gosh, what's the guy's name that owns the Braves? CNN. What's his name?
Turner?
Yeah, Ted Turner.
Helped create or get the Soki River where it is for trophy fishing. So he made it to where, so if you actually own a place and the river goes through your property, you actually own the river. So usually, it's not that way. But he, of course, they set it all up. And so these fish I call them, depends on, some of them are like, I call them pellet hogs, if that makes sense. So
Mhm.
if you want these fish to stay where you're at, it's like, whoosh, let's throw some fish food here. Maybe they'll stay. But still, you're going through different flies, and people who go North Georgia fly fishing, or even they've never fly fished before, they're thinking a river runs through it. We're going to be like Brad Pitt and stream this stuff out here. It's like, no, it's pick the rod up, flick. Pick the rod up, flick. And my cousin who'd never done, he's like, this is it. I'm like, just wait till you get a 14 pound. Just wait and you'll know. But anyway, it's a great time. It really is. It's an amazing time.
That sounds
Sounds
awesome.
like we just got invited down. We're going to clear your schedule.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna have to go find some Wisconsin bourbon too. There are so many micro distilleries popping up around here.
Really?
Wisconsin's
In
known
the
for
land
beer.
of beer?
Yes, in the land of beer, and all of a sudden it's all micro distilleries. There's a place over in Chippewa Falls that makes flavored vodka, and they have a horseradish flavored vodka that is, if you like Bloody Marys, it is the bomb.
Wow.
Good stuff.
I got into mezcal tequila.
Yeah.
Scotch, I hate Scotch. I've tried different ones, can't get into
Yeah.
it.
Not a fan either.
I got into one and someone was like, well, explain it to me. I'm like, it's like standing in the middle of a campfire smoke and it's
Yeah.
in my mouth. I can't.
Yeah, that's
But like the mezcal tequila with that spicy smoky, I'm actually I'm interested. I love it. But but a flavored spicy vodka all day long. Give me a Bloody Mary all day long. Like I could go for one right now.
You need to go to Mexico and go on the tequila tour, and they walk you through the whole process, and you get to try it at different stages. So the first distilling of it is Riacine. You drink that stuff and you'll start seeing purple elephants and shit.
I had been to Mexico one time and just said I'd never go back. Went to Monterey, and the very first Lowe's home improvement store they were building, I was like, hey, can you go down there and kind of help set this up? I go down there, escorted in by police. They had an actual shooting tower with guards in it, protecting the freight that was coming in. And half of the freight that we had didn't even show up because the cartel was taking it over. And so a lot of the shipment stuff that came in, I'm like, there's really not a lot. So I had an escort service into the Lowe's store. And then when I wanted to go back to my room, I had got into another vehicle and they would bring me back and drop me off. And I was like,
there are much
I
nicer
know
places to go
there's
in
much other
Mexico.
places
Yeah.
that you go to, but that was my first experience. I'm like, this is no.
I've been to Mexico several times, only had a police escort once for a totally different reason, and that's for another show. We are running out of time here. Tim, where are you going to be next? Where's your next, where are you gallivanting off to?
Tomorrow morning I am heading north of the border to my cottage up on Lake of the Woods.
Back to Canada. Yeah.
Gorgeous cottage.
Time to close it up for the season. It's
Oh,
so it's 71 here today. Tomorrow the high is 41.
Oh,
So
yeah. That
winter
same
is
cold front's
coming.
hitting us.
yeah,
Yeah.
quickly.
Yes.
And how do people contact you, Tim? If somebody wanted to reach out to you and talk, how do they contact you? What's the best way?
Best way to get a hold of me personally, or at Rail is
Give your home phone number out to the people, would you please?
Absolutely, I will, and my bank account number. No, best way to reach me is 715-591-7050. That's the easy way to get us. So
Are you on the interwebs?
we are rail.jobs. And we're so unique how we spell our name. It's ROEHL.jobs. But for those people that don't know that, and you type in RAIL.jobs, you'll go to the same place.
Nice.
Did they do that before?
Guys,
Did they do
great.
that? Did that happen before Tim Norland became the vice president of driver employment?
Yeah, it actually did. Yeah, I can't.
I was trying to give you
lay
credit
claim.
for a
I
great
know I
idea.
can't lay claim to that. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, thanks for stopping by and taking some time. I know how busy you are, and we truly appreciate it, man. Really.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Tim.
All right.
Take care,
Got
bud.
you, man.
Bye now.
Thanks, everybody. Be safe and keep on trucking.